Hi everyone, today I want to show you the function principle and possible problems, or not only problems but also the design faults on basically all Volkswagen cars made from circa 1998 up to probably 2010. I'm not pretty sure with the ending date, but let's look at it. We can basically say that you have a manual air conditioning. This is not for Climatronic one. I don't know about Climatronic control unit, but I think it will be similar. This is Lupo 3L, but the same thing is valid for all Volkswagen cars, so let's check it out. I have now idle lights on low beam on, and you can see I have installed basically 4 LEDs. The yellow one, it's badly visible now, but the yellow one is almost the same like this. Only difference is that the signal from this button doesn't go straight to the gearbox ECU, or I'm sorry, I'm still referring to gearbox ECU, but I want to talk about ECU of the air conditioning, which is marked in wiring diagrams, and also it's you can order it under its marking probably J293, if I remember correctly. J293. It looks like relay. I cannot show it to you now because I have no spare, but basically it looks like relay. It's called the cooling fan control module, which is not correct or not precise, just because it does not control only the fans. It will be so complicated, but it also controls the air conditioning, whole air conditioning system. Seems to be not complicated, but there is one but. You can see that all LEDs now lighting, now lights. Sorry for my poor English. I hope you will recognize the information value before my bad English. So the yellow LED basically means that engine control unit allows to switch on the air conditioning compressor, which is the green light right in here in the center. It's badly visible. I will try to. No, it will not help. But you can see that green one was blinking right now. So this the signal, its principle is relatively simple. From the schematic it is not perfectly sure. You must study it for some period of time, but I will explain it as it functions basically, and all its problems. So when you press the air conditioning button and you have one 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter. This blower must run, at least at the first speed. This turns air conditioning immediately off. So I want you to hear me, so I will left it on the 3, but I wanted to make video in this. You can see that the compressor now, just now, you can see that flashing. This is not distorted by the frame rate of my mobile phone or my camera. This is really what happens in the car. Looks pretty strange, and pretty strange it is, really. Just because you can see that the request from the engine control unit is still present on idle. The only except when you drive on the first gear, it will temporarily switch off and back on. This was probably only on Lupo 3L. I'm not sure about it, just because the control units of the air conditioning are the same for these cars. So this is one, probably only one case that engine ECU disables the compressor running. This blinking, I will tell you in the moment something about it. So we have air conditioning started, request from the engine ECU into the gearbox ECU is present, yellow LED is still lit, but this green light randomly blinks, seemingly randomly, but it is not random, it is construction fault. Let me explain. This air conditioning system has basically only one sensor, which is the pressure sensor. Pressure sensor on the high pressure side of the circuit. It means that everything else must be calculated or determined from the pressure and probably compressor speed, which is making the engine ECU basically. So still flashing. Why is this? Is this intentional or is this construction fault? What would you say? I can surely tell you that this is construction fault. You can see the fan runs on the full power, full speed. These two LEDs are basically first and second speed, but I didn't saw one of them lights yet. This is only the idle of the fan, which generates voltage into this LED. It is not simply switching. So why this occurs? This blinking, this turning on and off and on and off and off, and in moment tuk 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 on. I have thought about it probably 20 minutes both in standstill, and hey, you can see no, it is not like it is only, it only looks like it is shining, it is blinking, but it is not the red one. Blinks only still only the green one. And if you watched it for previous 2 minutes, you can have some idea, which I have now, or not now, but I'm pretty sure about it now, because I made some measurement, and if you could feel the engine behavior on the idle, now it's stable, completely stable. Now it's unstable, it is the idle speed is shaking or wobbling a little bit. So what's happening here? Probably it would be better to show it in slow motion, but let me explain that this is only resonance, or not resonance, but positive feedback on engine load, engine RPMs, alternator RPMs, and voltage in electric system. So what's happening? Let me explain. Let me say it in phases. First phase is this. Yellow LED still present only when you hit the throttle or engage the first gear. This is robotized automat, but you understand. Very interesting thing is that this yellow LED, which means signal from ECU, goes into the J293 ECU even when I kick down. It's I don't know why the hell, I'm sorry, on neutral it goes off, just like I want when I drive. But when I drive on the second, third, fourth or fifth gear, it still engages the compressor. Doesn't matter on it that I have basically kick down and needs maximum power from the car. I don't understand it. If you know where I can find some map in the flash memory in the engine ECU which drives this, it will be perfect. So let's continue. I told that this is some kind of this blinking is some kind of resonance, and you can estimate that when the cooling fan turns on, the green light goes immediately off, and for a little while, probably 2 seconds. These 2 seconds are voltage drop when the high load on the alternator and the for electric system causes the switching of the cooling fan. You can see it is some kind of periodical. It goes in some periodical behavior. So I will demonstrate it to you on the headlights. I will turn it off. I will wait until the cooling fan goes off. Just a moment. Yes, now, and I will switch the lights now. Did you saw it? Once more. This was not successful because fan went on. So once more. 3, 2, 1, 1. Let's wait. I will switch the lights on. Hey, this looks like Murphy's Law, because now it don't want to get to turn off. I made it all the way anyway. So basically now the engine starts shaking approximately in the rhythm of the LED blinking, and clutch or air conditioning compressor clutch engagement. So probably many people already know what I'm talking about. This hazardous state, or this wobbling of the compressor, means that the control unit for air conditioning, J293, has some voltage sensing circuit, some comparator. I will not explain it in the electronics term, only basically like if I don't know the electrical. So basically when the voltage in the car gets low or a little bit lower, approximately, I can only estimate for down to 13 volts, probably lower, probably a little bit higher, doesn't matter on it now. Only thing that matters is that the voltage drop and increased load on the engine, which is the same, means that the compressor is turned off. In just that moment, the voltage rises up, and the dump ECU for air conditioning switches the compressor back on. This means increased load for the engine. Engine goes a little bit slower, probably 50 RPMs for a small amount of time, for a short moment, and process still repeats itself. So what will we do with it? Do you think that this is okay? In my opinion, it would be really perfect if the cooling fan ran still when the air conditioning request is present, when this orange light is present. This solves the problem with the lowering voltage in the, or decreasing of voltage and I'm sorry, today at the evening, all the day at work, so my English is pretty poor. But this will eliminate the power surge for the electrical system in the car. It is one power surge, only caused by the fan, which is pretty high. It is there is probably 20 or 30 amps. And second one is to eliminate this state. Doesn't matter on everything, on the lights or on everything, which would mean to turn off the voltage sensor or voltage comparator in the ECU for the air conditioning, but it's a little bit complicated. Probably not for electronically, for people who can repair electronics or make some electronics, but I just don't want to rebuild the J293 some suffix ECU. I just want to turn air conditioning on when engine is running. I just want to cooling fan run when air conditioning is allowed to run. And first of all, or major of all, I want the air conditioning compressor to run still. This basically means that I can use this orange signal from the engine ECU and use simply two relays. First relay for compressor and second relay for cooling fan. Nothing else. I absolutely don't know why the Volkswagen designers or electrical designers or engineers made this dumb ECU, which if they would program or implement it there some hysteresis for voltage sensing, everything would be okay, but they just comparing the voltage, and it is basically not stable, and there is positive feedback. You know what for positive feedback means? It means resonance. So probably this is one of the biggest faults or biggest or greatest misconception on Volkswagen cars which I ever saw. I saw many stuff under-engineered here, over-engineered, but this is absolute nonsense. You can imagine that shocks for engine and for belt drive and for everything, when such a powerful device like the air conditioning compressor makes this switching. It is horrible for it. I'm making it just for the study now. So what will we do with it? Probably I will make some second video as soon as I will have some time spare to solve this problem, just because this means that air conditioning is only partially functional. So probably this is all for today. I hope it will be helpful for you. Excuse me for my language skills. I'm not practicing now, so I speak badly, let's say. And next time I will make some solution of this problem, probably something like that, two relays, simply relays. I will show you how crazy the J293 unit is inside, and probably make some tutorial for fix it permanently, fix these issues, which is quite nonsense. So I'm sorry, I'm pretty angry with this, because it doesn't make sense, absolutely. So what can I say? to end this video. Keep driving your 3Ls, wait for the solution of this problem if you have air conditioning and if you need to use it. And see you next time. Ciao.